We will go to the last question in the multiple choice type of series, namely parachloroaniline. Parachloroaniline is just this, aniline with a chlorine in the para position. This is known as parachloroaniline. Then the other compound is anilinium hydrochloride. Anilinium hydrochloride is aniline on reaction with this is the anilinium hydrochloride. This is parachloroaniline and this is anilinium hydrochloride. The question is how to distinguish between these two compounds. It looks like that both contain, this contains the nuclear chlorine, this is only as an ion, chloride ion, as a counter ion for the anilinium positive ion. How will you distinguish between the two? 4 choices are given there. One is actually alcoholic silver nitrate solution. This alcoholic silver nitrate solution seems to be the right choice because this alcoholic silver nitrate solution, the chlorine which is present in the nucleus will not be answered by the alcoholic silver nitrate. When you add alcoholic silver nitrate, no white precipitate will be produced by means of this compound. This will fail to produce, that is parachloroaniline will fail to produce white precipitate with alcoholic silver nitrate solution, whereas this is only a chloride ion, immediately this will produce a white precipitate. So this is one of the methods of distinguishing parachloroaniline from this. When you look at the other things, we will not be able to distinguish. Actually, parachloroaniline is a primary amine. This primary amine will undergo a reaction which is known as a carbylamine reaction with chloroform and sodium hydroxide. When you add sodium hydroxide, this will become a free base because this is an acid solution, hydrochloride solution. When potassium hydroxide is added, free base will be liberated. When chloroform and free base, this will also answer the carbylamine reaction. Therefore, this will not be helpful. Carbylamine reaction will not be helpful in distinguishing between parachloroaniline and anilinium hydrochloride. And look at the third one, sodium bicarbonate is meant exclusively, it is a mild base, and added to that these two are also bases. Of course, this is an acidified form of the base, but this sodium bicarbonate is not going to distinguish between the two. Therefore, this is also not a good reagent for distinguishing. And sodium hydroxide is also, only thing is sodium bicarbonate is a mild base and sodium hydroxide is a stronger base, and that will not also be, because basically in effect these two are basic compounds. A base can be generated on alkalification on the addition of sodium hydroxide. Free amine can be generated and it is not possible to distinguish between the two on the addition of sodium hydroxide or sodium bicarbonate as well as by the carbylamine reaction. So the only correct choice for this answer for this question is alcoholic silver nitrate will be helpful, because when you add alcoholic silver nitrate, a white precipitate will be produced in this and no white precipitate will be produced because it is a nuclear halogen. A halogen attached directly to the benzene nucleus will not produce a white precipitate, either bromine or iodine or chlorine or anything will not produce because it is a nuclear halogen, or in other words, a halogen that is attached to an sp2 carbon will not produce a precipitate. So alcoholic silver nitrate is the best reagent to distinguish between the two. So the correct choice for the question is A, and the remaining are not useful.